Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Richard E. Johnson Gymnasium, K. Saunders Court for Wes-Del Warrior Volleyball. I'm Biff Wilson, joined by John McGlothin and Wes-Del Sports Network CEO and executive producer Andrew Romine. He's over in the booth, manning the controls. Tonight, the Warriors host perennial MEC powerhouse Wapahani. This is the Warriors' fourth consecutive conference match. They've got another one next week to make 5 in a row before, well, they don't get much of a break, but they play the K. Saunders Classic then a week from this Saturday. The Warriors thus far have posted a 1-3 record on the season and in conference play. They notched their first win just 2 nights ago against a pretty game Union squad. Statistically, the Warriors continue to be led by Amelia Hudson-Roberts and Aubrey Antrim offensively, with Taylor Freeman setting the table and Libro Kainu, Taylor Freeman and Amelia Hudson-Roberts pacing the team defensively, recording the lion's share of the digs along with contributions from Aubrey Antrim and Ansley Draper. Wapahani runs a 2-setter offense and is led by senior Sophia Beeson, but features a pretty diverse attack that also includes juniors Cammie Rivers and Tatum Dudley, as well as senior Anne-Marie Gibson. Wapahani setters are juniors Caroline Hunsinger and Megan Luce, with Luce recording a few more assists in her rotations than Hunsinger, about 25% more. Defensively, junior Libro Emily Luce paces the Raiders, averaging about 5.6 digs per set. The Raiders come in to Richard E. Johnson Gymnasium with a max preps ranking of number 1 in 2A and number 12 in all classes in Indiana. John, you've come up against some highly ranked teams, and what's that like? How's that different, do you think, for a young Warrior squad?
Well, it can be very intimidating, and as coaches, we have to kind of manage that a little bit. But one of the things that you realize, I don't know if this plays in our favor or not, but I felt like sometimes the fact that they were local teams, you kind of knew the girls or the teams that you were playing against, and you knew a little bit what to expect because you played some of them in travel and you've seen some of them along the way. So middle school and on the way up. So not a lot of surprises when it's a middle school, team that you played before, or it's a local county team. But nevertheless, we know Wapahani is always a talented team, and so it's one of those things where it's a measuring stick for a young team, but it's also one of those things you got to kind of take. You sometimes take lessons and learn lessons from games like this that can help you along the way, because you never know. Come county tournament time, you may see the same team again.
Yeah, boy, that's the truth. And I guess speaking to your point of the girls may know quite a few of each other. Wapahani with only 2 seniors on the roster, bevy of juniors, I think 8 juniors, and a handful of sophomores. Our group only 1 senior as well.
Right.
They are probably familiar, and a lot of the Wapahani crew plays multiple sports, but they may be familiar with them on other fields as well.
Right.
Valerie Wells, in her second year as Wapahani head coach, comes from a successful tenure at Daleville. So she had a lot of success last year, ended up losing in the sectional to Burris, I believe, who went on to win a state championship. The good news is we don't have to worry about Wapahani in sectional time anymore, because we're where we're supposed to be in 1A. So I think that's to our advantage as far as a young team as well.
Right.
That was a grinder of a sectional.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, if you won that sectional, you had a really good chance of winning the state championship, because the level of volleyball, as you know, in this area is high level anyway. And then to put us in a 2A sectional like that, nobody feels sorry for you, but we were 6 kids away from being 1A. So,
yeah.
I know you thought of that several times looking across the net, but it just goes to show you, and it's a tribute to this county and this area for volleyball.
Well, it sure is. And you add LaPel to that mix, and Winchester and Alexandria. And there's nobody that can argue there was a tougher 2A sectional.
No.
It's not that we don't want to be in a tough sectional, but, when you come to the end of the season, you like knowing you're where you're supposed to be.
Right.
And again, big argument out there with class sports, but you watch kids win a 1A, 2A, 3A championship, and they don't care that they're not playing against those 4A teams. They couldn't care less. And the joy that it brings them, I don't think we can deny them that. And it's not Milan, it's not basketball, however you want to feel about class athletics. I saw something, it came through our school board notes via Kyle Mealy, our superintendent. There is, the school board apparently, and I may have mentioned this before, okayed a trap shooting program.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how that's going to start or who's going to be in charge of it, but that sounds pretty interesting. And I had a student tell me today that there's a movement in Indiana to get bass fishing as a club activity or an emerging sport activity. So, I want to be involved in that. I want to, be in charge of boats and fishing gear and stuff. I'd like that.
Yeah, that's definitely a different avenue, isn't it? That's a whole different I don't think that you wouldn't necessarily have to worry about classes in that either. You just go out there and fish.
Exactly. I don't know what the rules would be, but
I don't either.
I don't know how many people per boat. How many? I could rent them my boat. It'd be great. I'd really enjoy that. But in the meantime, we've got plenty of volleyball. Schedule notes. Volleyball does play next Wednesday, right here again versus Shenandoah. I tried to make everybody believe that we were playing them last night.
You had me fooled.
Yeah, I almost had the coach fooled too, according to him. They're, I'm going to make those mistakes, I guess. But they do play next Wednesday night, and then the Kay Saunders Classic, of course, the 15th annual Kay Saunders Classic. And we can talk more about that later. I've got some Kay Saunders trivia for the listeners out there, so hopefully they can listen in and maybe get some of those answers. I always like the trivia question. It's fun for me anyway, even if nobody else. But, that's what it's all about.
It's all about us.
That's right. And I was down there on the floor tonight, and we talked about the finish on that floor last time.
Yeah.
And I just really like that.
Yes, I do too. And as you can see, it's not scuffing up, and so I think it's doing its job so far.
We were down there last year more than once with players on their hands and knees with tennis balls.
Yeah.
Because you use tennis balls to buff the scuff, and they worked out pretty well, especially when you've got 15, 20 of them down there. I know the custodians appreciate it, but this floor is holding up.
And
really,
this is a great
really
view from up here for us.
Oh,
we get to see it all and see the court. I mean, that was one of the first things I noticed when I wasn't coaching, I think, was coming up here and, boy, the game looks a lot different. We mentioned that the other night. But
it does.
It's kind of neat to watch it from this angle because it's been a few years since I'd been, watching a game, and it's interesting.
So Wapahani oftentimes brings their own streaming crew, but I don't see them over there tonight. Maybe taking the night off, deferring to us, and they may regret that later. But good to see hopefully a decent growing Wapahani crowd over there. Good to see our crew growing down here. I think they'll see a fun match tonight. Again, you never really know what Wapahani's going to bring. They've run the table on their last three opponents, won all three sets. That was after opening the season with a really tight one against Delta that they won 3-2. So they can be challenged, and hopefully tonight we're up for the task.
Looks like we're getting close to go time here.
I think we are. We've got Endicary and Bobby Borer down there officiating tonight. Used to seeing Bobby with Sean Sherfy.
Yeah. And
he was surprised, too, that he told me that the other night when he was working with Sean, he said, hey, we're out at Wes-Del, aren't we, on Thursday night? And Sean said, you might be, but I'm not. And Sean wasn't sure what was happening there, but he's got a good partner there in Endicary, two pretty darn good officials there. They work with players. They know the game, and I think they'll do a bang-up job. We're going to have Keith Roberts and Emily Love singing the national anthem tonight.
Okay.
I'm not sure where Brian Lake is down there. Keith started to announce the JV game, and then I think the microphone might have quit on him. I'm not really sure what happened, but hopefully they can get it fired up for the national anthem. But those two can sing the national anthem without any help because
they've done
they're
it
that
so many
good.
times. Yeah.
Keith knows how to throw a harmony out there, I'll tell you. So we're getting set here for the lineups and the national anthem. We'll pause up here while we listen to what's going on down on the court.
And you Wes-Del Warriors. At this time, we would like to introduce our officials for tonight's contest. Ms. Cynthia Carey and Ms. Bobby Orr. These individuals have committed their time to our student athletes, and we appreciate their effort and sacrifices. Fans, if you feel the need to verbally express your displeasure with our officials, please note that your actions will be an absolute contradiction to the values and needs of Wes-Del athletics. Please join me in applause for tonight's state officials and their commitments to education-based athletics. At this time, we invite you to stand and please remove your hats as we honor our nation.
And there you have the starting lineups. And that was not Emily Love and Keith Roberts on the national anthem, but we did get some Keith.
Yeah, I was going to say it was all of us there.
Right there at the tail, and then it was everybody, so you can't beat that. Bobby Bohr in the R1, the up official position. Got into carry. Down manning the net in the R2 position. Both teams having their pregame conferences, cheers, feet in the middle.
I can remember somewhere over the last 4 years when you and I were, or you were coaching and I was watching, but one of the officials finally had to just go, "Come on, ladies."
Yeah.
I don't remember where we were, but I feel like it was a tournament where you're just playing a lot, and the official was, okay,
That's
come
right.
on.
They've got their routine, and they like to stick with it.
Yes, this is game 4. Let's go.
Reese Berry down there in a corner with a flag.
Oh, no.
That's right. He was pretty psyched up for this. He's not running a camera tonight. He's involved. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure he's going to have some fireworks ready.
Well, he is a 2-time state champion.
He is that.
In esports.
That's right. So I think what you're saying is hand-eye coordination should be exemplary tonight.
Yeah, he's right where he needs to be.
That's right. Looks like we've got a growing crowd over there with the guys. It is, you can't tell. Now, I may have been fed wrong information again, but I was told tonight was superhero night.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I'm seeing over there, but
I see a couple capes.
That's all you need right there, a couple of capes.
I do know that there's a middle school football game going on.
That's right.
Pulled several of our boys over to work that to kind of help out, and of course they would be here cheering, but they told me they were going to be helping with the middle school game. So
saw a lot of jerseys in the hallways today. Megan Luce will start out as Wapahani setter, and she will serve. Tough serve off the hands of Kainu. Now she's warmed up. She's broken in. She's ready to go. More tough serving. We're going to see a lot of Cammie Rivers out here on the outside on the left side. And Marie Gibson in the middle for Wapahani. And a nice little play there.
That was probably the best thing that Taylor could do right there.
Absolutely. Just go up and flush it.
Yeah, right at the net. We'll call that Taylor's version.
That's right. Oh, boy. We're going to hear about that, aren't we?
Let's see if she can serve as well as she did the other night.
I'll tell you what. She leads the team with 12 aces.
I believe it.
And 9 of them came the other night.
I was going to say, she had a roll there for a while.
Yeah, but more than the aces, she just serves tough. Wapahani, though, always known for their passing. So we'll see how they adjust. Sophia Beeson into the lineup now for the Raiders. She's the big gun. And the serve continues to throw Wes-Del off just a little bit here. Nice pass there by Kainu. A really nice attack by Aubrey. We usually have one of those early back row attacks by Amelia, dug by the Raiders. And then the net doesn't hurt on that Sophia Beeson attack. I'll tell you what else helps a team. And you may have noticed Tatum Dudley over there on the right side. Left-hander.
I was
and you
going to say,
love having a left-hander over there on the right side.
I bet you as a volleyball coach, when you get those lefties, it sure is nice. I know in basketball it was nice. It's just a little different. Ball travels a little different, but it also gives you a different angle, different angles to attack.
You're absolutely right. Really nice pass and set there by the Warriors. Good attack by Aubrey. Amelia back out of the back row again, and really nice attack there. Really gave Tatum Dudley no choice but to try to make a play on that ball, and she doesn't quite make it. So good swing there by Amelia. Emily Luce, nice pass. Nice play with her hands there by Taylor. And another nice play by Kainu coming off the basket. Tell you, the Warriors are in the right places. Then it's just about getting your forearm out there and controlling that ball. And they are working at it. Wapahani out to an early lead here. That's where you really like to have the lefty.
Yes. Nice swing.
We'll have to have Cassie Smith work on that, turning her into a left-hander. I know some parents do that with kids when it comes to baseball, softball. They really work them early on that left hand. I don't know of any volleyball players that do, but and we've had a few players that could use both, some amphibious players. More Sophia Beeson.
Well, I had a daughter that I switched over halfway through her middle school career to shoot a basketball the other hand because it didn't make a difference. But it seemed like the form got a little bit better, so on free throws.
That's good. So we got some late comers into the crowd here for Wes-Del. Nice one-hander there.
That a ball alive.
And Amelia drills it.
Oh, just long.
Working the right angle there. Just didn't quite bring it down into the court. Looks like Wes-Del's Kayla Stanley in charge tonight. She does a nice job.
One of your assistants for a few years there.
Yeah, JV coach, assistant coach. Had a baby this last spring.
Sure she's enjoying any chance that she can to watch some volleyball.
I think she is. And she worked a lot with them this summer, worked as sort of on the transition team with John Vernon, and kind of showed him around, showed him where things are, as well as Ariana Strand, the JV coach, who's coached in the program for quite some time. And they got everything set and situated. And I think a key with Kayla Stanley tonight is we had a flag. She must have fixed it. It must be working now.
Well, yeah, I was told that they were happy that we didn't mention that the other night, and everything is just peachy keen tonight. Even the national anthem, we'll just improvise.
That's
we
right.
Need to.
That's right.
We can do that.
Absolutely. Cassie Smith back to serve, pushes it deep. Wow, just out.
Yeah, that was just out.
Kainu back in the libero spot for Cassie. Callie Parker back to serve for Wapahani. Wapahani with a 13-3 lead out here early. Great pass there by Amelia. She'll get the set, drives it, but it's held up halfway through. And Sophia Beeson again. And I'll tell you, we're in a tough spot right now, trying to slow her down. And she's an experienced kid. She's played on some awfully good teams.
When you get a veteran like that can feel the confidence and gets off to a good start.
Exactly.
That's usually a good key for a good player.
Nice pickup there by Kainu on the setter dump. Amelia out on the left side. Can't quite get it to the floor, but they've got some choices. Oh!
No call.
And Bobby's just not going to let that happen. The two-hander there by Amelia, just a little bit too long a contact with that ball, I think.
Go with one hand there, you're probably okay, right?
I think so. I do. And she got kind of caught between blocking and attacking. There we go. There's some good net play.
I can ask you all the questions that I thought for all the years I was up there. Now, how many substitutions do you get a set?
You get a lot.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because with the libero, if you're using a libero for 6 rotations, you never really even have to worry about subs. You get 18.
Okay.
And we occasionally would come close to that number depending on how we're using our libero. Last year we used a 3-rotation libero instead of a 6, but we always had that option. So if we were going to, that serve goes out, if we were going to come close, then we just use that libero in the way it's intended with the other 3 rotations. But I'll tell you, it seems like when you're playing a 7 or 8 player rotation with the libero, you don't even have to track subs because you're not even going to come close. Nice play there, and you don't always like your players reaching behind you, but in that case, it was the right thing to do because everybody was back on their heels. But couldn't quite get the second play because it's hard to control that ball when you reach around behind you like that. You're just usually sort of frantically taking a swing at it. Chloe Sipes back to serve for Wapahani. Some levels of volleyball have experimented with using two liberos, but only one at a time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, and a lot of those rules like that are geared towards getting more players playing time.
That makes sense.
Reese looks a little bit, makes the call.
He calls it in, and then out, and then
Bobby
overruled.
Makes the play, or makes the call.
Yeah.
And the student section, the superhero section, not happy about that.
A
A little too much air under that one. So Wapahani pushing out to a sizable margin here. Now it's about building momentum for that second set if you're not going to come back in this first set. And Aubrey Antrim out there swinging like she's not worried about momentum.
I know this is probably a statement that is not going to surprise anybody. But when you have a veteran team like this and you can serve to the situations and wherever your coach is wanting to in the zones that you're supposed to hit, it's really putting us into some situations where we're scrambling a little bit.
It really
a young
does.
team, just off the serve, it's doing that. So
Yes.
well, it took me a minute to get that out, what I wanted to say. But
You're absolutely right.
But I got there.
And when you're coaching that team, boy, it's a lot of fun.
Yes. Well, it just puts you on your heels right away.
It really does. And sometimes you have that one server. When we had Grace Bond serving, I could tell her I want it on the lower left side of the E, just in front of the 10-foot line, and that's where she's going to put it.
Yeah.
And it makes coaches look really, really good.
We like that as coaches.
Oh, we do. And you just got to, at that point, you tell your player, thank you. You're allowing me to have a lot of fun.
Well, we'll take that.
We will take that. Service error by Megan Luce. The Coaches Association, IHSVCA, is really encouraging schools to use a 3-ball rotation system during their matches, much like you see in college.
Yeah.
And it is very efficient. The difficult part is getting the people to do it.
Right.
Solid swing out of the middle there.
Poor Reese is taking a beating down there.
I'll tell you what.
A couple controversial calls, and then he got hit the last 2 or 3 possessions.
And they'll probably claim it's karma. I don't know. Sophomore Kaylee Clements into the game for Wapahani, and her teammates seem pretty fired up about that.
Fan favorite.
Well, then you come in and you put together a really nice jump serve.
Nice serve.
And you go, okay. Maybe she gets more playing time. Wes-Del trying to get out of this passing funk. And they don't have to. Clements will stay in the match. They're going to help guide her into where she's supposed to be going. And we've got Aubrey Antrim, who is a tough server, going right at her. She does make a nice pass. 4 contacts for the Raiders. And the Warriors never give up Warriors. They are fighting back. And they have played the Raiders even in this last segment of the game.
Got out of rotation.
Yep, must have been an overlap somewhere, or the setter left early. Let's see, where is the setter? Well, the setter's in the front row. She's not in a position to leave early. Just might have been overlapping with the back row player. Whatever it is,
rotation again.
They're doing it again. And let's see if Coach Wells will now.
What do you do in this situation, Coach? I mean, obviously, can you ask for what is it?
You can ask for a lineup check for sure. And it looks like what they're indicating is that Megan Luce was on the wrong side of someone. But no, it's still not right. Yeah, she's got to be in the middle.
They're talking it out. Replay.
Yeah.
Both points or just one?
I believe their front row is 3-8-7. Their back row is 9-10. Then the libero. So
after all that, serve it out of bounds.
And all that does is ice our server. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a strange ending to set one. Wapahani takes it 25-10. We're going to take a real brief pause in the action here. Thanks for watching the Wes-Del Sports Network. In between sets here, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Wes-Del Volleyball is made possible by Defiance Motors, Right Way Collision Repair, Property Pros, I see them in my neighborhood all the time, as well as signs from Campus Rentals. Pizza King, I'm not going to tell you how familiar I am with them. All you need to do is look at a picture. Gaston Main Street Church, Skinner Auto Body, and of course, Dowling Dumpster Rentals. Thanks for sponsoring Wes-Del Volleyball.
We couldn't do it without you. We always love to thank those sponsors. You know you'll be able to catch us tomorrow night. On the road, we're going to Tri-Central tomorrow. I saw that's who the middle school's out there playing right now. So
okay,
we'll make the trip. We'll get in the nice long trip over to Tri-Central. I think Mr. Executive Producer will take his trip over there on his motorcycle. But I will not. I don't have a motorcycle, and I usually ride with Superintendent Mr. Mealy. And if he had a motorcycle, I don't think I'd want to ride with him. But
does Producer Romine, does he show up in his leathers and change out?
He has before, but it's a little hot for that tomorrow. I don't think he will tomorrow.
I think you're right.
Well, yeah, I think we could extend that more, but sometimes more leather than sometimes less. I don't know. It depends on the weather. But anyway, join us tomorrow. We'll be a 7 o'clock start on the road at Tri-Central. Prediction right now is a 1 point either way going either way. That should be a good close game. I'd love to see the Warriors go over there and get a victory, and we'd love to have you join us. And if you get a chance to hit that subscribe button, I see we picked up a few the other night, so hit that subscribe button, help us out, along with helping and going and visiting our sponsors as much as possible.
Now, is that your prediction, that plus or minus one, or is that
no, that was on John Harrell.
Okay.
So I'm going to predict Wes-Del's going to win by a touchdown or more. But
all right.
But just that's the official John Harrell prediction, which or this early in the year can mean a whole lot of nothing.
Sure.
But
now when we when you talk about those predictions, when IndianaPrepVolleyball.com, when they like to build a database every new season, so it's about 3 weeks in before, and it's not a really long season, but about 3 weeks in, they'll start throwing up their algorithm-based, not predictions, but they will assign certain values to the teams.
Okay.
And what that does is tell you about how many points should a team win or lose by.
Gotcha.
It's pretty interesting. It's not always accurate, but it's pretty interesting. Warriors get things started off with the always tough serving of Taylor Freeman. Nice rally here by both teams.
Nice block.
Great net play. Control at the net.
That was a good point there for the Warriors.
That was a very good point there. And that was the freshman front there taking care of business.
Yeah, Cassie Smith with a nice block right in the middle of that play.
Absolutely.
Surprised herself. She spun around looking for the ball and was back on the other side.
That's true. And that's the risk right there of the aggressive serve. It's all right. Get him next time around, Taylor Freeman. And Wapahani starting the same way they did in the first set. Megan Luce back there to start things off serving. And the lefty on the right side, dug nicely by Kai Nu. Here comes Aubrey Antrim. Rolls that ball to the back row. out to the left side as Wapahani does like to set the ball out there. Nice defensive plays here by Wes-Del. Nice defense. Aubrey trying to terminate. Can't quite get it to the floor.
Very scrappy right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of those tweener balls. The look on Aubrey's face was, should I have gotten that? And yeah, maybe so. But Kai really gave it a good effort there, too. You get stuck between blocking and dropping, and sometimes a hitter can take advantage of that. Tough play there. Pass a little tight to the net and an odd angle to Taylor, and she didn't quite get her hips around to make that play.
Like some scrappy play here to start this second. Coach Vernon may have had something to say about that. Let's just go out there and fight. If nothing else, we're going to give it everything we had. I know the first set didn't go our way, but let's fight and give it everything we have. If we're going to go down, let's go down swinging. And sometimes that can rally you a little bit. You may surprise yourself.
That's right. You love to see a team do that. And they will make mistakes. They're not invulnerable over there.
Right.
Aubrey Antrim back to serve. When we get a team up to point 10, I'll throw you some trivia on the Kay Saunders Classic. You can see the experienced libero back there. Emily Lewis putting that ball on the money. Wapahani always brings in a very athletic crew. I don't know what they're putting in the water out there, but for 10, 15, 20, 25, well, since I started watching volleyball 30 years ago, Wapahani has been strong. That's another tweener on that pass. Do I back up and try to form that? Do I stick my hands up? That's a tough play.
Yeah, you talked about it last game, a new position for Amelia. She's learning that position. So,
and a nice comeback there. Good pass set, and then Amelia finishes it off and gets a lot of kudos there from Aubrey Antrim. Nice seeing that. Cassie Smith back to serve. She likes that long, deep serve. Good one there. Scrappy play by the defense. Can't quite get it in. And here comes Kainu. We've got a pretty consistent passing crew back there. And then Ansley Draper joins them as well. So I think as the season goes, nice shot there. Very aggressive shot by Amelia Hudson-Roberts. As the season continues, and here comes Ansley, you're going to see that you're going to see communication improve. You're going to see that feel for each other improve. And as that improves, the communication almost becomes second nature.
Well, and I just like our attitude right now. I just think our attitude this set is totally different. And
I think you're right.
You're going to make mistakes. We're young. That's part of it. Yep. Playing a really good team, but you can always handle your effort. You can always be in control of your attitude. And then those things will go a long way to helping you with your confidence. And like you said, as the year goes on, those will build and build and build.
That's right. Tag out of the middle from the Raiders. That was number 11, Olivia Walters. See Matt Luce down in the crowd. He's pulling double duty tonight, maybe triple duty. He's athletic director, dad, and dad.
That's right.
I don't know if two dads is the same as one. You'd know that. Have you had two daughters in action in the same sport?
No, not at the same time. Rachel was an 8th grader when Cameron was a senior, so I missed that, luckily, because I think that probably would have, I don't know, some of those drives home were hard enough with one.
Well, I know that Rachel's a talker.
Well, yeah.
She probably bent your ear.
Yeah, she loved it. She loved to get any kind of coaching or information from me.
As do a lot of kids of coaches, yeah.
Nice swing is
really
great.
nice play there by Antrim. Oh, thought she might get away with that in the middle. Jenna Dent with a good effort.
Yeah.
And I don't always agree with calls like that. Was there really double contact, or did it just – I had a referee, John Baker, once. He told me just because it's ugly doesn't mean it's wrong.
Right.
Nice play there.
Felt that way on that one.
Yeah.
Jenna comes right back and makes a nice play.
That's right. And that's the attitude right there.
Yes.
That's not unafraid. That's what you want. Unafraid. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Well, I'm a little late on my trivia, but
Oh, yeah. Throw one of those out there.
I'll tell you, the Kay Saunders Classic has always been something near and dear to my heart. I didn't start it, but I was the first Wes-Del coach that got to coach in it. Steve Bouger was the originator. It was his brainchild. He was the athletic director here back in 2009 when I started coaching. So in 2010, he said, hey, I'd like to do something. Let's start a tournament and see if we can build it. And we're going to call it the Kay Saunders Classic. And I'll tell you, I don't know how many good ideas he's had throughout his tenure as AD at different places in coaching, but that might have been the best. The first year in 2010, there were 4 teams, and it was really more of a quad event. We just 2 teams switched off and played the other 2 teams, and that's what we did. The very next year, we had 6 teams in it, and it turned into a 6-team tournament where we had 2 3-team pools, and then we played crossover. And then in 2012, it reached its current number of 8 teams. So it built very, very quickly. Now, as I said, there were 4 teams in 2010 in a quad event, the first Kay Saunders Classic. Of course, Wes-Del was one of those 4 teams. So to those out there listening, anybody that wants to chime in, who were the other 3 teams?
Okay.
That's the question. Who joined Wes-Del? 3 teams that joined Wes-Del in that very first Kay Saunders Classic back in 2010. And as a hint, I'll tell you this, 2 of the 3 teams are still involved in the tournament.
I was going to ask that question. Are they still involved?
2 of them are, one of
Okay.
them is not.
Okay.
So hopefully we can get some responses. We'll give a few minutes here. So now Reese, in a interesting move,
Move to the other end.
has moved to the other end. I'm curious whether he'll be back on the other side in set 3.
Yeah, we'll see. The student section may have kicked him out of it.
Or he may have voluntarily slid right out of there. Kai knew right there, being careful as libero, not to contact that ball above the net. Some bing bang play down there, and Cammie Rivers says she's had enough. And, you know, you have a team with some size and a team with athleticism. That first ball that goes up that's hittable, it's coming in a rally like that. Serve gets shortened up. Ansley Draper handles it, no problem. Sophia Beeson out of the back row with a really good swing there.
She's
Nice
a good
set.
player.
Yeah.
We've seen her for several years now, and she's just solid and, on a really good team. So
I
not
coached
to be expected.
on the other side of the net with her for 3 years, and it was about 3 years too many.
Yeah. Sometimes you play against some of those players. There were some kids that I coached against who thought that they were there for like 15 years.
Yeah, were they redshirted?
Because they were so good, and they were just such a big part of their teams for so many years.
That's right. Nice hustle there by Emily Luce. Tries to make that play, but the Raiders or the Warriors put it on the floor.
A nice play there, a little back set, and a nice finish.
Doesn't look like any of our 33 viewers are game for this
Or on the chat.
this trivia question right now.
It might be too tough for them.
It's a tough question. It really is. Tell you, the 2 teams that are still involved that were involved from day one are Mississinawa and Blackford.
Okay.
So who's that one team?
That's no longer involved.
It's no longer involved, but was in year 1.
Was that the only year they played in it?
think it might have been, I'm trying to recall, they might have been in it one more year when it expanded to 6.
All right.
And it's not a team that's currently even on our schedule.
Okay. Well, my guess was going to be Southern Wells, but that would be wrong.
They have been involved in the tournament, but not at that point. In fact, this team, some confusion there. This team that I'm talking about, double contact there called, and the end of the second set, 25-6, Wapahani over Wes-Del. The head coach of this team was actually a player of mine on a 12 and under team in Munciana. So I'll give you some time to think about that while we pause. Thank you for watching the Wes-Del Sports Network. And welcome back to Richard E. Johnson Gymnasium, K. Saunders Court. Getting ready for set 3 here. So far, Wes-Del, they've worked hard. You can tell they're scrappy, but they've dropped 2 sets now, 25-10, 25-6. So
I know one of the things. Sorry to interrupt you there, but
fine.
I know one of the things that you and I both have gone through in coaching with young teams is sometimes you have to go in and remind the other team, or remind your own team, the other team's pretty good.
Yeah.
And, so that's where we need to get to. That's what we're striving for. That's what we're going to try to continue to do at practice every day. So,
exactly.
It's not, there's no shame in sometimes losing to a good team if you're, like you said, you know that you're young and you're going to take some lumps. But you want to use that as a learning situation.
Right.
And, what you don't want to see is players start putting their heads down or lacking confidence or,
exactly.
Pointing fingers or anything like that. So I haven't seen any of that tonight, and that's a, tribute to the girls. Keep fighting and keep going, and it'll pay off in the long run.
I think so, too. And you're seeing some players talking strategy. You're seeing some players smiling out there. Taylor Freeman clapping. I think they're going to start off, with a good attitude here. They are finding some wet spots on that floor though. Aubrey on mop-up duty, she's finding them and taking care of it. Taylor making sure that towel's just right.
You want it, just the right way.
That's right. Megan Luce will start it off for for Wapahani. 2 W schools. I'm struggling.
Keep it alive. I'm going to double hit. That's one of those, like, I'm with you. What does that affect?
Yeah.
She's not trying to set the ball, so.
And I still don't think she hit it twice. I think that may be a lift, that may be prolonged contact,
right,
because of the spin. But I don't know if it's a double contact. I think it might not be great, but
yeah. But every official's has got a different way of calling that.
That's
too.
right. That's right. Bobby's an old school guy.
Yeah.
So 2 questions answered here. The first one, Reese Berry has returned to his original corner.
Yes.
And the answer we're looking for on the K. Saunders trivia, Pendleton Heights.
Oh, I would not have. I could have stayed here all day and not gotten that one.
Wouldn't have gotten that one. Pendleton Heights.
I was going to say Elwood. I was going to say,
Coached by Blair Barksdale, I believe is her last name, married last name. And she was a Delta player ultimately in high school. Went to Albany University. Played under Coach Kelly Sheffield while at Albany. Kelly Sheffield, familiar name to Muncie coaching fans, was a longtime coach here in Muncie, an assistant at Burris. He coached at Munciana, and now he is a national championship winning coach at Wisconsin. I don't get a whole lot of opportunities to name drop, so tonight's the night, I guess. Tough start here for the Warriors. And again, off the hand there of the server, Megan Luce. She's a tough starter for them. And there we go. Off the block, Aubrey Antrim using it well. Let's see if this will jumpstart the Warriors with Taylor Freeman going back to serve.
Nice serve.
Really nice serve. And when you're getting Emily Luce, their libero, to pass like that, you've put a tough ball over the net.
The ball got on her awful quick.
It sure did.
Oh. Well, hey, however.
There we go. Just the way you drew it up. If you hit it hard enough and hit it high enough off that net, it's going to roll right over.
Hard to play that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I don't recommend trying to do that, but sometimes you get lucky. Let's see if she raises that contact a little bit on this one. Not enough. But still, tough, aggressive serve. 2 points to 1. You'll take that.
Not that it really affects us anymore, but did they add another team? Did someone take our spot in the 2A sectional that Wapahani that we were a part of?
You know, I'm not sure who slides in there.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just leave it open.
Because we've had a couple of replacements in the 1A sectional that I believe is hosted by Daleville this year.
Yeah, it's 8 teams now, right?
I believe it is.
Yeah, I think so. Some teams we haven't seen in the past.
Yeah, and probably wait till the next match to nail down those teams. Really nice play.
Good battle.
That's right.
It was great call by Reese. He learned his lesson.
He did. He casually said that was out.
I don't know why they rolled it over there because it's coming over here, but
that's right.
Sometimes they get confused.
And the superhero cheer block over there, they agreed with Reese.
Yeah. I think they told him you're not welcome back over here unless you raise that flag above your head.
That could be. Tatum Dudley likes to tip that ball over the block, and Kai Nu has got that on her radar, making that play. But nevertheless, Wapahani manages to score, and they'll send Emily Luce back to serve. Okay, let's try another trivia question. Now, this is one we can build on.
Okay.
Don't have to have all the answers at once, but we know the current teams. Touch on that, so she takes that one off the block. Amelia Hudson-Roberts. We know the current teams that we'll see a week from Saturday: Bishop Luers, Marion, Tipton, Blackford, Western, Mississinawa, and Hagerstown. Besides those teams, and we've already talked about Pendleton Heights having been in it.
Correct.
There are 4 additional teams that have participated in the K. Saunders Classic. You mentioned one. I'm not going to bring it up again. Let's see if anyone else can.
Okay.
You mentioned one.
Okay.
And there are, in addition to that team, 3 others. So 4 teams that have played in the K. Saunders Classic that are no longer in the K. Saunders Classic. There were really 5, but we covered Pendleton Heights. Strong attack there.
4 others.
4 others.
All
4
right.
other teams.
All right.
And none of them as, I don't know if obscure is the right word, but none of them as distant as Pendleton Heights. These are all ones that can be gotten. Good play there. Nice quick set.
There's that top of the
Top of the net again.
Coming into play again.
Yep, Olivia Walters timed that pretty well. A little low contact, but they're running that play. We used to call it an L, or it might be a 31 to some teams. Nice little quick set out there about halfway between middle and left side. Can be very effective. Lilia tries to take it across court, doesn't quite make it. And Sophia Beeson.
Let me ask you this, as far as the Kay Saunders Classic, I know that's something near and dear. You've been a part of every one of them. You're still going to be a part of this one, right?
Yeah, I get to tape the courts on Friday night. And by taping it, I mean spreading. Actually, I volunteered. I practically insisted, simply because I know some things about the floor that maybe new coaches don't.
Yeah.
And I won't throw anybody under the bus that did our nice floor, but because I really don't know who it would be. But the lines that are on the floor aren't just quite right. So anyway, I can put down 2 courts in about 40 minutes. But you're saying that you're talking about my new role as tournament director.
Tournament director.
And I like that. I like the organizational part of it. I can talk to the coaches, talk to the officials. Might even get a free tenderloin out of it. Mary Goth has already reminded me to remind Matt Knuckles, our AD, about the lunch deal that we usually
absolutely
give the officials, and I don't blame her. And I told her I would. I've already reminded him once. Big attack there from Wapahani.
So I'll turn the other way and ask executive producer Mr. Romine. We're going to be covering that, right? Or no? Yes, we are, but no audio, I don't believe. I'll be out of town, and you'll be directing, so people will probably really enjoy the games because there'll be no audio.
yeah. And I tell you, he sets that up really well. We'll have two streams running. We'll have a north court and a south court. You can flip back and forth. You can split your screen and watch them both at the same time.
Absolutely.
We're going to work on simultaneously showing a standings board so you can get those updates. Centerline violation there on Taylor Freeman. She goes under the net a little too far. And, you can go under the net, and you can, if your foot's on the line, as long as your foot's somewhere touching the line, it's not a violation.
Okay.
But if there's a gap between your foot and the line, that's about it. Plus, she was in the net. So double whammy there, but you call the centerline violation if that's it. That's the more egregious of the violations, simply because somebody can step on your foot and it can create an injury for your team or the other team.
Safety reasons.
It really is.
So they come up just short, but still fighting and battling.
Now, if you watch the Olympics, you'll see them go pretty far under that net. And in beach volleyball, you can go under the net as long as you don't interfere with the other player.
Oh, okay.
And there's talk of doing that in indoor volleyball as well. But it hadn't reached the high school level yet. That looked like a superhero dive. If anybody had a picture of that, we could probably screenshot one of those. I think Ansley was completely horizontal in getting that ball. Just timing was a little bit off, but it was a really good effort. Warriors struggling a little bit right now with their passing. Taylor with a big smile on her face at her attempt to get that. Warriors down 19-8. It's a little bit too much Wapahani tonight. Or a lot too much. Great play there. And something that Wapahani does well that Wes-Del will eventually do well, nice swing there by Aubrey Antrim, is they flow on defense. They flow according to what's going on the other side of the net. And that's experience.
Yeah,
that's practice and experience.
Well, and some of those girls, like you said, there's a lot of juniors. So they've been playing together for years and years.
They
down
start
at
pretty
6th
young.
grade.
Yes, they start pretty young at Wapahani. Might have saved an out serve there. We'll take that. And we'll take that as well. Sophia Beeson put one into the middle of the net. I think that front row might have been intimidating there. Kainu continues to serve. Nice serve there. Good pass, but it was a nice serve. Cammy Rivers puts the ball down. They do run their offense a little bit faster than you'll see a lot of teams. They're not throwing that ball 20 feet out there to the outside. And again, that indicates players that have been playing together a long time.
After this serve, I'll ask you one more local volleyball question here. See if you can help me out.
And then I'll finish up our trivia.
All right.
No takers tonight on the discussion board.
The
another close
question
call.
I was going to ask, did Muncie Burris move up in class, or are they still 2A, or do we know?
I believe they're still 2A, but
Okay.
I'm not positive. We are, I can't remember if we're in the first, well, if we're in the first year of a new cycle.
Yes.
I don't remember what they did 2 years ago.
I don't either. But I was just asking because you said that some of the rankings, Wapahani is 1, or at least early.
In the Max Preps ranking,
Right.
yeah.
So that would just indicate that obviously they're going to be pretty good, and I just wondered where Burris fell in the
I
whole
want to
thing
say
too.
Burris lost maybe to Wapahani 2 years ago. I believe
I think you might be right.
Wapahani won that state championship. So they would have won that sectional. So Burris wouldn't be moving up based on success factor. And I do believe they're still in that sectional. So, all right, back to the trivia question. The teams that have also been involved, aside from those currently involved.
Well, I said 1, right?
Southern Wells is 1. Southern Wells has a really nice freshman player.
They beat Monroe Central fairly handily the other night.
Yeah, they're definitely an up-and-coming program. Whitney Stewart, their coach, and her daughter is playing and is about a 6-foot-tall freshman and is very good.
That helps.
It doesn't hurt, that's for sure. Besides Southern Wells, Winchester, Union,
all right,
and Alexandria.
I should have guessed all those.
Yeah,
Now
Union
that you say that.
back under John Rodriguez, very good team back then. They were involved. So
I remember that. It's a fun tournament. If you get a chance to come out for the day, come out.
It is fun.
Watch. I know Wapahani has a tournament this weekend. I only know that because my niece will be playing in it. So,
and they host that, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
MEC golf will be going on, so I'm going to be out there at Cardinal Hills anyway.
All right.
So I may just be able to catch a little bit.
Yeah. Some question there over whether there was a touch out there, but on that block, but apparently not. Big swing there by Amelia. She's ready to go defensively. Here comes Sophia Beeson. And
against those big hitters like that, your back row players are in trouble if you can't get a block on it.
That's right. You've got to get hands on it.
You've got to get something on her. She's going to continue to do a lot of that.
So we still got a lot going on this weekend and next.
Hey, all right.
There we go. That thing crawls over the net. So if you follow Wes-Del Athletics, there's plenty to take a look at over the next few weeks for sure. Where you said we're at Tri-Central with football tomorrow night.
Correct. MEC golf at Cardinal Hills on Saturday.
Volleyball's off this weekend. They're back home again, Shenandoah next week. And then the Kay Saunders Classic.
I believe it might be tonight or maybe it was last night, the Pendleton Heights relays that cross country is. That's always a fun one. I had a daughter that ran cross country and I loved going to that one. It was just here you are, Wes-Del, standing next to Fishers and Hamilton Southeastern, and it was interesting. Yeah,
and they didn't start that till 7 o'clock, so they were really trying to mitigate some heat problems there. Beeson with a big swing.
That'll do it.
And that's the match, 25-14 in set 3. Wes-Del goes down to the Wapahani Raiders, 3-0. But again, we can't talk enough about the effort. They don't give up. They keep playing. They're still having fun, it looks like, and that's great. They dropped to 1-4, 1-4 in the conference as well. They're going to have a weekend here to rest up, regroup, and a couple of practices before they get back at it next week. Look forward to seeing them next week because I think we're still going to see a good refreshed group, and they just keep on learning, and they're going to keep getting better. There are places in our schedule where this experience is going to pay off for them quite a bit. John, what else you got?
Well, I just think be patient. It's a young team. We've said that already a few times tonight, and we're playing a very good veteran team tonight in Wapahani. So, anytime you do that, lessons, coaches are going to go in there. This is probably one of those nights where you don't spend a lot of time talking. You just, hey, listen, this is a good learning night. Here's the things we did well, some things we need to work on, and let's get better. And then I would imagine, I don't know, I haven't talked to Coach, but I would imagine they'll probably get a little time off since this is one of the few weekends that we don't have a match. You get a little time off and get away for a few minutes, then come back and be ready to go again. And like you said, we host another MEC opponent, so we got to be ready to go again next week. But I thought her effort and attitude and being good teammates, was one of the things that I meant to mention earlier. I thought our girls are being good teammates, and no one's pointing and saying, you got to get here or there. A lot of encouragement out there. So stick with it, and good things to come as you continue to work and get better at practice.
I think you're absolutely right. So once again, thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm Biff Wilson for John McGlothin and Andrew Romine. Thank you for tuning in tonight to the Wes-Del Sports Network.